Hey guys, what's up? Fanboy Prime here, and this is the second time I am recording this video. This video is my response to Main Event Comics and Wrestling's top 10 favorite WWE superstars. Not who we necessarily think is the greatest, but who our favorite is. Whether that is entertaining in the ring, entertaining out of the ring, a combination of the two. So let's get to it. Number 10 is Hulk Hogan. I debated putting him on this list. I wasn't originally going to put him on this list, but I have to include him. He was my first favorite wrestler. He was my introduction into wrestling. I believe the first match I saw was a Saturday Night's Main Event with Hogan versus Boss Man. I can remember renting WrestleMania 6, hoping that on the copy of the VHS I had, that Hogan was going to win that match, even though I knew Warrior was going to win that match. Number 9 is going to be Mr. Perfect. My stepdad introduced me to the wonderful world of cheering on a heel wrestler, and I have not looked back. Mr. Perfect was the first heel wrestler I cheered on. What a great wrestler. Great matches. I mean, who throws a touchdown pass to themselves better than Mr. Perfect? Number 8 is going to be Macho Man Randy Savage. He has become I have become a bigger fan of him later on in life. During his time from 92 to 94, I wasn't a huge Macho Man fan, but I have learned to appreciate the greatness of the madness of Macho Man Randy Savage. Number 7 is going to be AJ Styles. And I just threw him on this list versus what it was the first time. I had always heard about AJ Styles in TNA. I had seen a few of his matches, but it wasn't until he got to WWE in 2015. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't until he got to WWE in 2016 that I became a huge AJ Styles fan, especially when he was beating up John Cena. I had the opportunity to see him wrestle in the Alamo Dome in 2017 at the Royal Rumble, where he lost the WWE title to John Cena. Great match. AJ Styles has won me over with his work in the WWE. I think he is consistently one of the best wrestlers. Number 6 is going to be Batista. I think he is one of the best big match wrestlers of all time. One of my all-time favorite wrestling fandom moments was at WrestleMania 26, sitting with my cousin next to a family from Mexico. Language barrier there. Didn't understand what they were saying. They didn't fully understand what we were saying. But we knew that we were cheering on Batista and their little boy was cheering on John Cena. You know, we're going back and forth. And after John Cena wins the match, we look over at that little boy and he does the "you can't see me" to our face. And me and my cousin laughed. I hope that kid remembers that for the rest of his life. Definitely a top 10 wrestling fandom moment of all time. Number 5 is going to be Kurt Angle. Amazing rookie year. Kurt Angle could do it all. He could be a devilish heel. He could be an awesome babyface. He could be a comedy act. Him losing his hair in that hair versus hair match to Edge, wearing a toupee, just awesome. Awesome stuff. Kurt Angle, some of the greatest matches of all time. Definitely one of my favorites. Number 4 is going to be Shawn Michaels. If we were doing a greatest wrestlers of all time, Shawn could be number 1 or 2. But as far as my favorite wrestlers, Shawn Michaels, just watching him go from tag team to the Intercontinental scene to the world title scene to being Mr. WrestleMania, consistently probably the top wrestler in the ring for, you know, a 10-year stretch. Just great. And his 1997, early 98 heel work is some of the best. That is mega heat. I loved it, especially when he happened to win over the Bulldog over in England, the one night only. Just amazing, amazing heel heat. Some might say he was just being himself. Number 3, The Rock could do it all. My favorite era, or my favorite period of The Rock's career is 97, tail end of 97, early 98, before he really comes into his own. Some of the awkward promos he delivered that were so great, so entertaining, before he fully found himself and his voice. And 2003's Hollywood Rock, when they slowed down his music, just the ultimate heel, right up there with 97 Shawn Michaels. The guy could do it all. What an amazing athlete. What a great promo. Number 2 is going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, another guy who has delivered great promos, great in-ring action. Who could forget the night that he beat up Bret Hart in the ambulance? Just great stuff. WrestleMania 13, bleeding from his head. The opportunity to see him wrestle at WrestleMania 17 versus The Rock in the main event is awesome. Love Stone Cold. Number one is going to be Bret Hart. Bret Hart is my all-time favorite wrestler. He was in my all-time favorite tag team. He was my all-time favorite Intercontinental Champion. He became my all-time favorite World Champion. Is he the greatest of all time? He's up there. He's up there because Bret could make you believe it. And, man, just great matches after great matches. Bret won me over with the pink and black. To this day, hot pink, my favorite color. Yeah. The greatness of Bret Hart. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Well, thank you, Main Event Comics and Wrestling, for putting this challenge out there. It was far harder than I thought it was going to be. And as I was editing the video, I already thought of a name that should be on this list that I forgot. But perhaps next year, or perhaps a time in the future, I'll redo this list. You know, a top 10 favorites is kind of always in flux, just depending on where you're at in your fandom at the time. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this wrestling content, and I hope you enjoy the possibility of future wrestling content. Maybe perhaps this will be how we get Lady Prime to show up. Well, thank you guys for your continued support of this channel. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate your likes, your comments, your views. Thank you guys. Have a good one.